Aloha, everyone. Yay, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. I see you've all come to find your wise old owl today. That's great. So, I have a house of wise old owls here. Well, I don't want to say old, but you know what I mean. So welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai again. And we'd like to start our time together with our... Oh, she's saying introduce yourself. Thank you for reminding me. In case you don't know me,
why don't we just let everybody get seated? That'll probably help us to
Everybody's
get that.
Seated.
Well, no, I mean just land a little bit better, right? Yeah, that's how we do it. We land here at Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. There we go. Because we're a community here. People like
So, yeah, we don't have a children's program right now. So the parents need to sign. Yeah, sorry about that right now. We can talk about that later. We need some commitment from parents before we start a children's program, and we're getting ready to do that in January. And so as soon as we said that, the children started to show up. Okay. Anyway, so, so I'm Reverend Rita, in case you don't know me, and that is Reverend Patrick over there. We're the spiritual directors of the center, and that is Michael and Carrie Fox, our beautiful music directors. Yay. And we love to come here on Sunday and just uplift ourselves, and by doing that, uplift the world. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Michelle LeMay, our Board of Trustee member, and also a practitioner intern, to come up and give us our announcement for the week.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. All right. Wow, it feels good in here. I do have some things that this week we're going to be doing as a community, starting today, right after service. For those of you who are not members of CSL, we're going to have a little impromptu get-together after to talk about what that means and what it would look like to be a member here at the center. We know that many of you have been coming for many months or many years, and if you have, and you may be a member in your heart, however, if you haven't filled out a form to make it official, we encourage you to do so. A couple things. Why that does is it helps solidify your commitment to yourself and your spiritual growth and your spiritual community, but it also helps CSL as a center. We are a nonprofit, so we actually have to document our growth and really show where we are going and where we are moving towards. So that's why we encourage you and we invite you to stay after to find out a little bit more of what that means. And also, as our community grows and as our consciousness grows, this is what we are wanting to create here in the long run. This is our dream board back here. And if you haven't seen it yet, you definitely want to check that out. But it definitely takes all of us to make that happen. So stay after. We will still have our little social time, so it'll be after that. And then next week, we do have some new members that have recently come on board, and we're going to be celebrating all the new members next Sunday during service. So it's something that's very dear to our hearts to do that, to welcome everybody. And then also happening this week is a new class that's going to be starting on Thursday evenings here at the center from 6 to 8 every Thursday for 10 Thursdays. And it's called Essentials for Greater Living. And it is based off of this book, The Essential Ernest Holmes. Ernest Holmes was the founder of CSL who brought all the philosophies into something that we can use in our everyday lives. So we get a lot here on Sunday, and we certainly absorb and we learn, but to really delve into the philosophy and practice this in our lives, the best way is to get into a class. And this is a 10-week class. You can commit for the whole 10 weeks or come and go as your schedule allows. But it's going to be on Thursdays, and it's going to be facilitated by the Reverends. And if you are into New Thought authors such as Edgar Tolle or Mike Dooley, Louise Hay, Deepak Chopra, those are the type of philosophies and people that Ernest Holmes brought together. Those are the modern ones. He definitely had other folks from past, but it's the same idea and the same genre. So if you are into those kind of readings, writings, and philosophies, then you'll definitely be interested in Essentials for Greater Living. And then we are going to be having a taste of meditation. That's going to be Reverend Diane that's going to be hosting this. This is not an ongoing. You have 2 chances to do this. And the 2 chances are on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 10th, from 9:30 to 12:30, or Monday, September 12th, 6 to 9. So there's 2 different opportunities, and it's really to delve into meditation, but also learning about different kinds of meditation. And you'll be able to experiment and try and really kind of tap into your own inner resource with Reverend Diane. Do you mind standing up so people... This is Reverend Diane, for those of you who may be new for us. A staff minister here at CSL and is very active with doing other workshops. So this is the newest one she's going to be doing, the meditation and the taste of meditation, and that's going to be again Saturday and Monday. And everything is in your pamphlet, as along with we have a flyer that has most of the activities for September. We have lots more coming up, so that's going to be updated. So stay tuned. If you're not plugged in either with email or Facebook and you want to get information that way, feel free to do that as well, because it's, the ways of getting information here are kind of endless. So definitely plug in and enjoy your service.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. So let's just settle down for a moment. Center ourselves right here and right now in the heart, in the one heart. And I'm going to invite up Roseanne Jones, who is one of our practitioner interns, to lead us in our time of meditation and contemplation, as Michael and Carrie join her.
Good morning. We're going to go into a meditation experience right now. And turn the page. How clever. The quote is by Ernest Holmes. And it is a thought that you may want to take into your meditation time. So as you relax into your chairs and breathe in and out and get settled in your space. Each one of us is an outlet to God and an inlet to God. Each one of us is an outlet to God and an inlet to God. Enjoy your time. one of us is an outlet to God and an inlet to God. And what I recognize and what I remember is that there is one power in the universe, one force in the universe that is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. And this force is the force for all good, all joy, peace, love, prosperity, vitality, good health, perfect health, and all good things. And I know as I stand here, I am this force. It is working in and through me as it works in and through each one of you. We are united in this power, this spirit. And we can have as much of those good things as we choose to accept and to live. I am so grateful for this knowledge and knowing that today as we gather, this service is unfolding perfectly. All that needs to be heard is heard, and all that needs to be felt is felt. And with an open mind and open heart, I gratefully release these words into law as we say together. And so it is.
Thank you, Roseanne. That's beautiful. Thank you, Michael and Carrie. All right, and Yvette, who I don't see right now. And let's let the group come in that's coming in. Welcome. The groupies are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure the door gets shut. Oh, Katie's there. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So as now we're, once again, settling in our seats, we're going to light our peace candle and sing our chant, which is one that most of us are familiar with, called I Am Remembering Who I Am. Very simple, that's all the words there are. So as we light this peace candle, we know that peace begins within us. And as Roseanne said in her opening treatment, that's what God is, right there where we are, that spirit, that life force. And it is peace and a place of peace. And as we experience that in our own minds and hearts, we experience it in the world. And that's what remembering who we are is. So let's go. perfect love. Anything we put after the words I am is what we're claiming. So let's claim all of that beautiful power, light and love of who we are, and take it into this service. And so it is. Thank you, everyone.
Well, happy Labor Day, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
I know this woman who's wondering today if she's going to have her baby today, and I said, wouldn't it be lovely to have it on tomorrow on Labor Day? But that's just me and myself. It's so good to see you. And she said, I never thought of that. Thank you for sharing, Patrick. I thought everybody would. So welcome, welcome, welcome to CSL Kauai, where we study the faith of science of mind and spirit. We must add that spirit part to it, right, Rita?
Yes. It's always spirit, because spirit comes first. And when our spirit is in touch with that one power and that one energy that we're just talking about so far, then our minds are aligned. It's perfect, right? So it's mind and spirit, and our minds is what outpictures our life. So it's really a very simple teaching. It's an ancient wisdom, and if you know anything about philosophy and all forms of faith, there is that through line that the power is within us. And that is what we preach and teach, and not just that, we practice it. We practice it. This is a teaching and healing philosophy. A lot of people might not know that about the science of mind and spirit, but it's a healing philosophy, because when we get in touch with that place within us, we experience healing, which is just revealing that place within us. So, yeah.
And on that same note, I just wanted to add something that kind of came up for me today. And that's that whole idea of what we're really doing here. Besides inspiring ourselves on a Sunday, we're building community. And it made me think of it when Reverend Diane and Sue were moving yesterday. A lot of the community came forth and assisted in that move. A lot of people were getting our children now. And just on that note, I just want you to know that it's not that there's not a children's program, but right now what we're doing is we are growing it from a curriculum that we can actually, when they are in that room, actually give them some of these principles and these teachings. And it's not going to be done just kind of haphazardly. So as we watch, as we let go of, where are the kids, the kids absolutely appear. And that's a lesson in this principle, in this teaching. When you strangle something, it's not going to come to you. If you're going to hang posters up, where are the teens, where are the teens, where are the teens, and they don't show up, you have to let go and let God, everything in its absolute perfect timing. And all I know is I was a youth minister for 5 years and more. And the importance it is to get these principles to these wonderful future light beings that are right here doing their work right now, it's just incredible. So we are looking so forward to that, and when we see that commitment, we're just going to just ride with it. So thank you. Thank you for your patience as well. And it never hurts them to hear a few things that we're saying up here as well. So who is here for the very first time in this space? Who's got, there we go. There's nothing really too drastic about it. You won't be coming up here, and I won't be handing you the microphone, so you don't have to worry about that, even though some people might like that. But here's what we know about you. Shall we? Shall we? You are magnificent. Ah, what a relief. But you already knew that, didn't you? And we also know that. Why? Because we know that about ourselves. Shall we all say it together? I am magnificent. And now next to you, whoever's there in front of you, let them know how magnificent they are.
Let's not forget the camera and Sherry.
I won't. You are magnificent. Welcome home, my friend. Welcome. All right.
So can we turn to the camera? I
All
know
right,
there's
is it-
certain people watching us today, and I want to especially give a shout out to Sherry Teal, who's just recuperating from surgery and doing really well. She's a member of our center that lives in California, and
She's
her
in
husband
Auburn,
Tom. So let's
Auburn,
just let her
California.
know and everybody else that's listening that they are magnificent.
You are magnificent. Woo.
Oh.
Feels good, right?
It's so nice to hear those words, right? It's so important for us to feel that within ourselves and to let other people know
Absolutely.
that we know that about them.
Absolutely.
It's not just words. It's one power, one mind that we can feel it when it happens.
That's right. And some people say, well, why do you have to say that every week? Because one, we can, and then the second one is that I deserve to hear that. I don't know if you feel that. We deserve to hear on a continuous basis that there is something powerful and something dynamic going on inside of this vehicle and inside this planet, inside this world. We have the right to know that we are magnificent, and we will never stop saying it, never, because we will never stop being magnificent. So there you go. So shall we have a note? Thank you very much.
Let's go
Yay.
for it. We have a new opening song.
We have a
this
new
month.
opening. It's a new month. It's Wow, Wealth of Wisdom Month.
It is. It's a brand new month and a
It's
brand
a
new
brand new
song. So our opening song is Here to Live by Mary Isis, for those of you that are familiar with Mary Isis music. So
Go ahead,
let's have
stand
fun
up if you
with
feel
it.
good.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Let's.
Right now I'm here to live.
Right now I'm
Here
here.
to live.
Right now I'm here to give.
Right now I'm here to give. There we go.
Right now I'm here to
Right
love.
now I'm here to love.
The earth below and the sky above.
We're below in the sky above. There we go.
Marvelous, miraculous, green life rooting down, rising up to meet the sun.
Rising up to meet the sun.
Every being has its season and it's time to shine. We're gonna keep growing free. All right, one more time, guys.
Here we go.
Right now I'm here to live. Right now I'm here to live. Right now I'm here to give.
Right now I'm here to give.
Right now I'm here to love.
Now I'm here to love.
The earth below and the sky above.
Earth below in the sky above.
Marvelous, miraculous, green life rooting down, rising up to meet the sun.
Rising up to reach the sun.
And every being has its season and it's time to shine. We're gonna keep growing free.
Growing free. Come on, Rita.
So here's what I know. So simple. We are love. We are love, and we are here to live and love. That is what we are here to do. I don't care what we're going through right now in the world of form. It doesn't matter. What matters is we are here to love and live, and the more we do that, the more everything else just changes to meet that. So I know that we're here to love, and I know that we express that and I claim it for each and every person here, and for this service today, that it wakes us up even more as we meet
Yes.
together and join minds in that one mind, that one heart. So I just let it rip, and I just say, and
Let it rip!
I'm sorry.
Right,
That was Reverend James Mellon coming through me. I'm sorry.
Right now I'm here to live.
Let's hear you guys. Here I'm to live. Right now I'm here to give. Right now I'm here to give.
Right now I'm here to
Love. Who's here to love?
the earth below and the sky above.
Earth below in the sky above.
Marvelous, miraculous, green life rooting down, rising up to reach the sun.
Rising up to reach the sun.
Every being has its season and it's time to shine. We're gonna keep growing free. Last time, one more time. Every being has its season and it's time to shine. We're gonna keep growing free.
Keep growing free. Keep growing free. Aloha, everybody.
I think we're talking of being free.
Whoa, is anyone warm? Yeah, I can't do anything besides pass out fans. The AC is on as high as it's going to be. There's nothing else we can do, but maybe, thank you, Reverend Diane.
Yeah,
We
it
will
is still
pass
going,
fans
too.
out. We still have those fans from when we had no air conditioning. It feels like we have no air conditioning. All right, so let it rip. Okay. It is a James Mellonism. Okay, if anybody doesn't know who he is, he was our mentor. So I'll give you a second to pass your fans out. I should get one of those people to come up and fan me. No. Remember Cleopatra? What? No, it's okay. It'll just distract me. All right, I don't mind being hot. That's why everybody says, they come up and give me a hug and they go, I'm sorry, I'm sweating. I go, it's Kauai, for God's sakes. We sweat here. We can't help it. We take 3 showers a day sometimes if we need to. Cold ones. Okay. Oh, yeah? Okay. You can give us shower lessons later. Okay, Joanna, thank you. All right, so the wise old owl. I love this topic because, well, first of all, there's an owl that lives in our valley where we live right now, up in Kauai. Yeah? Oh, I didn't hear. Today's impromptu Sunday. I'm just going to stay in the flow. I'm just going to let it rip. Okay. So, yeah, there's an owl, and I've seen him once, but I hear him a lot, like at night. Not a lot, but every once in a while. And it's so funny because it's so mystical, right? Like when you think, I don't know, when I think of an owl, I had to go look it all up and find out what it meant and all that stuff. But what it really means is what I want it to mean it, what I want it to mean to me. So, all right. Back to me. That's a James Mellanism too. Okay. Back to me. So what I know is that there's a wise old owl that's in each one of us, and that's the wise old owl I want to talk about today. The one that I discover and continue to discover. So what's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? I mean, a lot of us have lots of knowledge, right? Especially those of us that have gone to school for many years or read like great books and stuff, and we have lots of knowledge. We've gathered all this information. That's knowledge, information, facts. But what's wisdom? Wisdom is the truth of who we are. It's the truth that comes through us. It's the connection to the power and the energy and the source that sources through each of us and intuits through us. That's wisdom. And wisdom, it's individual to each of us. And what I always say is we always know exactly in every single solitary moment. Really, we do know. But the thing is, sometimes we don't listen to our wisdom. What do we listen to? Knowledge or facts or things that we've experienced in the past and all that. But I do know that when we get quiet and we listen to our wisdom, when we really get quiet, that wisdom comes through and lets us know everything. Now, Confucius wrote, by 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is the noblest. Second, by imitation, which is the easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Wow, right, Confucius? Okay. Well, think about it. I mean, like for myself, like I learned a lot from imitation. I had an aunt, her name was Aunt Dolores, and her real name was Savarina, but she changed it to Dolores. And in my show, as I say, my dad always said she was crazy because she fell on her head when she was a kid. But she was very dramatic, and I learned a lot by imitating her. In fact, to the point that so many things in my life replicated her. I don't know why, but they did, because I guess as kids we imitate, right? And so we learn through imitating what we know. Or then we learn from experience, right? So I don't know about anybody here. I'm sure we can say, I'm sure that we've all learned through experience, right? Usually that's the one that's the most. Imitation, we kind of give up when we get older and we get be teenagers and we start rebelling and we decide we're who we are. Then we start to experience the world and we're like, oh, I want to go do that. I want to experience this. And sometimes the stuff's not really good for us, but we do it anyway. So I can see why he says that's the bitterest way to learn. But the way I look at it, whatever happened in the past and whatever we did, that was where we were at that time, and we had to learn that way. But Ernest Holmes, and I really love it that he says that this world will soon learn that this world will soon realize that it's learned all it can through suffering, and meaning through experiences that are maybe not that pleasant. But in the meantime, they have to serve us. I mean, I had to go prove myself. I had to leave home when I was 18 and get away and stop imitating my parents and Aunt Dolores and everybody else and be my own person. And I learned through experience of leaving home and being Rita, her own, we're all looking for that. So the last one is the one, reflection. And for me, that's wisdom. That's turning within. So Ernest Holmes wrote, while it's true that we are immersed in an infinite intelligence, a mind that knows all things, it is also true that this intelligence can acquaint us with its ideas only as we are able to receive them. So we all are, as Roseanne said, inlets for God, but we got to choose to be outlets. Inlets and outlets. It's all there coming through us, but whatever it is we choose to receive and experience is our choice. That's why we have choice. Otherwise, we'd all be walking around like, zombies or something, right? So we're inlets and outlets of God, and God can only be to us what we know and understand God to be. That's why we never take somebody's God away from them, because even if you don't call it God, if you're an atheist and there's still something happening, and you know that. So we never take somebody's God away from them, because we each learn to come to know God, and I use the word God, I'm sorry, as we experience it, as we reflect upon it, as we live it through us. So going back to the wise old owl, I looked up the totem of the wise old owl, and I thought, oh, this is perfect, because we're all wise old owls. We all have the capacity of the wise old owl. And one of them is the power of silence. That's why one of the things that go with it is that the owl is very silent, unless it's hooting. No, that's okay. All right. But it's silent because it's just, and so we are wise old owls in that if we get silent and really listen to this thing we're talking about, this thing within us, in our hearts and our minds, then we're going to hear it if we can get quiet enough. And it said something about owls. They have eyes in the front of their head, so they can look directly and see, right? And then they also get a neck that turns around, right? Oh, well, they say that, but that's not really true. It turns probably further than my neck turns, but so our eyes are in front because they're needing to focus, right? They can see in the dark because they're so focused. And so we can see in the dark too. We can see through the dark because there really is no such thing as dark when you shine light on it. So when we're having an experience that seems dark, we get to shine our light on it, and we can see through it. And that's what another thing this teaching is about, is seeing through the dark times. So also, are you a forward thinker? Are you owls looking forward, right? Are you a forward thinker? Are you thinking from the past, or are you thinking forward of something new? And then the ability to turn our heads in all directions. Okay, so like you've got to turn your head over here, and something doesn't look really good right over here, but you can turn away from it and you can say, I don't want that in my life, and I can pivot to the truth of what I do want. So, right? I can pivot at all times. I love that word pivot because it means that well, for a dancer, I guess it means that they can spin around, but we can spin around in our minds. We can spin away from what we don't want to experience and enjoy what we do want to experience by pivoting away from those things. And then the ability, like I said, to see where others don't see, to see through the dark, that's our intuition. What's our intuition? It's not, we might want to call it our gut, but what it really is our connection to God. It's our connection. When we get quiet enough and we allow ourselves to see through experiences, it's the thing within us, and we all have it, that really lets us know. That's our intuition, that we're at one with spirit. And then it also, the totem says it's a capacity to see beyond deceit and masks. Well, it's the same thing as what I'm talking about. Can we see beyond the conditions of the world? Can we see beyond the things that are not really real? They're real because we've created them, but they're illusionary in that they can change in any moment as we see through them. So, and then our capacity to see the truth also, I want to say, is our capacity to turn within instead of to the world of opinions. I think sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I still go out and say, what do you think about this? And yeah, there's great teachers in the world, but if a teacher's not directing you toward yourself, if it's just a teacher's just telling you what's good and bad for you and what you should do, then I don't want that teacher. I want a teacher that's turning me. My teachers have always turned me back to myself in this teaching, and because that's where your power lies. So can you see beyond all that? Can you know the truth? Are you with people and things that allow you to go back to your truth? I think it's really important. One of the biggest things on our survey that we did was that people like the community here, and I believe that you like the community here because people are like-minded, but not like-minded. We don't want like-minded like we're all, we're in a cult or something and we're all, saluting Patrick and drinking Kool-Aid or whatever. It's not that kind of like-minded. It's a like-minded that says, I want more from my life. I might be experiencing something now, but I know that I can get through this and I can know something else about myself, and like having conversations, because we're all unique. We're not trying to be the same. We're not trying to make cookie cutter practitioners. They're all going to be different people as they graduate. We don't like uniformity. We like multiplicity, but we're all united in one thing. So yeah, in love, exactly. So the other thing that was interesting about the owl is that it was an announcer of death. Whoa, I was like, okay, well, am I dying or what? Why am I hearing this owl at night? Then I realized that it's not, what does death mean? Death doesn't mean anything besides change. So symbolically, it means change. It means, are we willing to change? Are we willing to, if something in our wisdom takes us in a different direction, are we willing to let go and change if we have to? And sometimes it's not easy to change. When I left my home at 18, it wasn't easy to do that. I had to do it because it was what I had to do, but it was not an easy thing. And sometimes change isn't easy. When I got divorced, it was not easy to get divorced. I mean, it was like, oh, really? But I wouldn't be standing here today if I hadn't made that change when the change came. So Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind." Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. It's like our most precious gift that we have, our minds and our ability to use our minds on purpose. And that is what we're doing, using them on purpose, not letting them be like, willy-nilly. Ernest Holmes used that word. It's really crazy word, but it makes sense. Willy-nilly, like we're going this way, then we're going that way, and then no. On purpose, direct thinking from the highest place there is, not from the world of opinions, from the highest place within us, that we all have that wisdom. We all have that connection. I can't do it for you. You can only do it for yourself. And I know these are all, like, I'm looking at it, a bunch of, well, owls don't flock, but we're flocking here. You're all beautiful, wise, old owls. Oh, well, let's take the word old out. Let's just say wise owls. All right. Now, I want to just leave you with this one other thing. There's an 18th century healer or 19th century healer. His name was Phineas Quimby. I have a big book of his in my office, our office. But he said, there is no such thing as belief. There is only wisdom. Wisdom is real, and belief is man-made. I think this is really, and he healed thousands of people by getting them to let go of their beliefs and know the wisdom, which was that God within. So I want to read it one more time because I want to leave you with this. There is no such thing as belief. There is only wisdom. Wisdom is real, and belief is man-made. What if this week, I'll challenge you, you were to let go of every belief you had? I don't know. What would happen? And just, what if all your beliefs were false? They were just made up. We have a friend that has a company called It's All Made Up. He travels all over the world teaching executives about this. It's all made up. So what if you just got into the position where you said, you know what? I don't believe anything this week. I'm just going to turn within and let the Spirit pour through me and see what comes forward when it's not monitored by my beliefs. Let's see the wise old owls that show up next week. So I leave you with that. Namaste. Woo, yeah, woo, woo, woo. So now, let's give one big whoo together. Woo! Okay. I think we should whoo all month. Okay. All right. So I'm going to turn the time over to beautiful Carrie and Michael.
So, speaking of the Wise Old Owl and the theme this month, we thought it would be really nice to share one of our first original songs we ever wrote when we landed on Kaua'i called One Voice. And speaking of the Wise Old Owl, the song represents the conversation that we have with our inner voice, the inner spirit that flows through us. So, enjoy.
listening.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, there was just incredible, I couldn't even describe the energy in the room today. There's just, and nor should we. Descriptions don't really do it ever any justice. So this month is about a wealth of wisdom. Do you believe that you have a wealth of wisdom living right where you are, right here and right now? Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, and we actually do have that. I found this wonderful because I had to find a poem about a wise old owl. And it says, a wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. We should all be as wise as that old bird. Yeah, the only one I could actually find, except for the owl and the pussycat. But that's a whole other poem. It's actually a great thing to enter wisdom after leaving the art of listening from last year, because I think last month, what I think this is trying to say is that observation, and as the owl does, as it sits up there and just observes, you can gain a lot of wisdom by that. Because a lot of people talk themselves out of a lot of stuff, if you've ever noticed. And I do love our stories. Yesterday I had the absolute honor to be with a memorial of someone. It was just such an honor of, and I can say Jackie's mother. It was just wonderful because what we did was, we talked story afterwards. And now I kind of get it, because in this philosophy, sometimes I think we're too addicted, actually, to our stories, if you know what I mean. Nobody in this room, but if there were to be someone, it wouldn't be in this room. But I do know that telling stories are very important. They, one, let you get to know one another. And if you're daring enough, and you're open enough to share those parts of yourself that we think are so secret. What is this? I learned this yesterday. When I was a kid, I really, really hated secrets, and our family was loaded with them. Loaded with them. That's my mother trying to cause interference right now, just for your information. And don't worry, I won't be sharing them today, because we're talking all about wisdom. And I used to, and it's, whatever's going to go on today, just get all the way to the end, all the way to the closing song, just to let you know. So what's going on here with this, besides the fact that it looks like a Baptist revival service, just to let you know, what I'm noticing about wisdom as a kid, too, not only telling stories, but I always thought that wise old owls were very intelligent, right? They have that appearance that they just sit there, and they have all the answers. Did you ever believe that in your life? They had all the answers. We even put God to having all the answers. Something has all the answers but us. And I know, that children program will be here much sooner than anyone could even imagine. This week we'll be going into meetings for that. So, back to what I was saying, the intelligence. And what is interesting is I used to always think that the owls were intelligent, and they wore glasses. Right? And they read. They always reading a book, and they have glasses on. So as a kid, I thought, I didn't want them, but I thought that if you wore glasses, that meant you were smarter. So I'm going to share a story that Rita said she hadn't even heard of. When I lived in New York and I was an actor, I was very much into proving that I was more than just a waiter. And so I said, you know what? And they go, this is all we can do, man. As actors, we can only wait tables. I said, no, that's not true. I'm very smart. I can do anything I want to do. So I saw this little ad for the director, a night director, for the hotel management and food school. And they were looking for a director. Now, I had no idea what that meant, but I knew I was very good at directing because I love telling people what to do. So I thought to myself, what can I do? So I went down there, but I was really paranoid because why? That little voice inside said, man, they're looking for someone intelligent. They're looking for a wise old owl. And is that you? Well, it can be. I am an actor. So I went down to the corner drugstore, bought me some glasses. Oh, I did indeed. Oh, yes. And not even the reading glasses because I didn't need them then. But what I did was the clear glasses. So I put them on and they looked good. And I actually looked pretty good in them. And I said, oh, I'll go in and interview with that. And then I was all nervous. I was like, oh, my God, how do I have to pretend like I'm reading? I mean, it was like a very big acting exercise. So I walk in. Her name was Mrs. Flowerman. And she looked very intelligent and very serious at this school. So I had my glasses on, and I walked in, and I interviewed, and I got the job. Yeah. All because of those glasses. That's what got me the job, right? Wrong. But here's the funny story, I mean, the ending to that, is we were in a meeting about a year later. She really wasn't that fond of me because I kind of turned the school around, had some fun, and didn't want it to be all serious. So I kind of let Patrick's personality in there. But this is what she did. She said, you know, it's odd, rather odd. The day I met you, you were wearing glasses. And I have never seen you wear them since that day. And I said, it's a miracle. No, it's a miracle. I can see your school has done this to me. But the point, as I digress, the point, if there ever is one, this is what it's about. Looking to the outside to prove yourself. Going out there and putting on another costume, another mask, something else to hide yourself, to let anyone know who you truly are. You are the healer and the healed. That's my message that came to me this week. That's how powerful all of us are. I am the healer and the healed, all in one spiritual, fantastic, magnificent package. So wisdom, can you imagine that I looked out to glasses to give me the confidence to be what I already am, and that is infinite intelligence. Ernest Holmes says in the text, as he puts on his glasses, oh gosh, the infinite knowingness becomes our wisdom only in such degree as we embody its intelligence. It has been said that we can know God only insofar as we can become God. Blasphemy. And that's without glasses. As we become God. Nothing outside of ourselves. That infinite intelligence that's going and moving through me as I stand here before you and look at God meeting God right now. It's good stuff. We are God, yes. And I know that gets kind of a bad play because we haven't used it in a while. And there's even, just to let you know the secret in the actual organization, there are some people that are saying, let's go kind of away from that idea of I am God. Yeah, let's spend another 4 or 5 centuries not knowing who we are. And that is not what we're about. We're about the idea of not being God, that I'm God over you, but that we have this infinite intelligence that we don't need glasses, we don't need your permission, We don't need anyone outside of ourselves to tell us who and what we are. Do we need doctors? Absolutely. That's God meeting God. Do we always need them? No, because we will evolve to that place where we can work within that infinite intelligence. But who do you think the doctor is? Infinite, exactly. Look, we have a whole section going here. The infinite intelligence is moving through and as everything. But at the end of the day, as Ernest Holmes would say, at the end of the day, we must remember that it was always us. It was always us. They didn't just poof out of the sky. We did it because we had clear intention that I am declaring perfect health in my body. I am declaring that I am wealthy. I am a wealth of wisdom. There is not a reason in the world, unless I choose it to be, that my bank account should not be overflowing. The end of the story. There's no more, or is it the beginning of the story? This isn't about blame anymore. I have a new word this week that I am going to use, and I invite you, you can have it too. It's called unstoppable. I heard that the other day. I was having lunch with a friend, and when he said the word unstoppable, there was such power behind it. Such power behind that intelligence that says, I don't care what comes in my way. And I'm not talking about the bull in the China store that's running around out of fear and, oh my God, and breaking everything and making a complete mess, which I have done many times in my life. But I'm talking about clear intention that I'm unstoppable. You cannot stop me from being who I am anymore. To all of you watching in live stream, welcome to my world. And guess what? After 3 years, we're still here. My goodness, we haven't headed to that door. Yes. So all I know is this, if I can even regain the thoughts that are, there's sometimes, this is what I'm looking at in a day. Sometimes you just have to go, you know what? Give it up. Just surrender, know who you are, and love where you are, and leave you where you are. As I say, I love you. Namaste. Oh.
Well, I'm glad you took off your glasses and became Superman.
All right.
All right, that's good.
Where are we,
All
darling?
right, we are ready for our time of giving.
I think we've been doing very good at that thus far.
Okay, so we're giving and receiving right now, and we actually have a new affirmation in our program, if you want to turn to it. And we thank you in advance for all the prosperity that you share with us in consciousness, in finances, and all of it, love, all of it. So let's read it together. I abide in prosperity. I am receptive to its abundance. I am receptive to its circulation in my life in the form of money. Money, being God in action, is absolute good. It is wholesome. It is blessing me, and I am prospered with it. I circulate it freely. I give as I receive. Yes.
Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts we can be eternally free. Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts we can be eternally free, living from a place of purity, honoring our spirit and integrity. Here in this place, creating a world that works for everyone.
So what I know in this moment is I am truly grateful. I'm truly grateful for this community, for the consciousness that is in this room, that continues to be in this room, and the growth of this community that we call CSL Kauai. I am so grateful for all that is in that basket, but what is even more powerful and more grateful, and I just bless whatever's going on in that wonderful ambulance, knowing that it's always God meeting God, and it is safe and it is sound. So knowing that, once again, we are just swimming in a sea of gratitude today. I know this to be the absolute truth of my being. Gratitude with attitude is always the way to go, and that is who and what we are, as together as one we say. And so it is.
Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts we can be eternally free.
So if anything came up for you during this service.
That's fun. Oh, gosh, you guys looked all serious. And now you get serious at the end of the service? Yes, if anything has come up for you. Right over there on that table, we call it our yes box, and you've all used it at one time or another, or you're at least invited to. So you just write it in there, and Rita and I take that into prayer, and also our wonderful staff minister, Reverend Diane, and the practitioners. We're all here for you because that's what we do as community, as a spiritual community. When you can't know something for yourself, let us know that for you. And if you wonder why everybody's been walking up on stage, it's because you always do. But right here is our beautiful little piggy bank, which isn't a piggy bank, but it's our starting where we are, and that's our building fund. And last month, I think it was like $237 or something in bills, and we're just building it up again.
Patrick doesn't want to empty it till it's full, so we're going to have a counting party when that happens. So
I call it community building. There we go.
Okay. So I
and
guess
the
we're
meeting
ready.
right after for those
please,
who are interested
if you're
in being
interested
members.
in being members or want to know more about that, please just stay. It's going to be very quick, about 20 minutes after we
max
congregate over the food a little bit over there before we start. But
there you go.
Okay, I think we're ready for our closing song.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you.
Happy
Such a blessing
Labor
to
Day.
be here with you today.
I feel, new song. We got Luis on the drums.
Got Kukui joining us.
We got backups.
Go ahead and put your hands together, everybody. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, hey, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, oh let it shine, shine. Everybody sing, shine, shine. You know you want to shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, let it shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine, you know you want to. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine.
And while you're all shining so bright, this is what I know. We are swimming in a sea of positivity and a sea of gratitude. And this is what I'm grateful for, besides all this beautiful energy in the room. I am grateful for Michelle, who does so well with announcements and is busy doing another little task for CSL Kauai right now. Give it up for Michelle. And we got our greeters, the greeter Katie, Katie's at the door today. And Matt. Yes, and Matt was at the door too. There you are. And meditation that took us so nicely and deep. Not only the music, but that beautiful, beautiful invocation with Roseanne Jones. Yes, and Rob is back there with the way they're live streaming all of this. There's no way that we're going to be able to deny it. It's on film. And so what I know is that hospitality always is so graciously given by Ron Stover. And that bookstore and the dancing is alive and going well on the dance floor. And Reverend Diane, woo, what a Labor Day to remember. And we know she is in the bookstore, and our wonderful music. Michael and Carrie and Kakuri and Louise and all of you. So I think and Patrick, yes, and Rita. So let's just give it up to ourselves as together we say, and so it is. Let it shine.
No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear.
No more fear.
We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, let it shine, shine, everybody. Shine, shine. You know you got to shine, shine. All around the world. Shine, shine.
Take your lights and let it shine.